Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Open Office Hours. I'm Crystal Hinkle. I'm part of the team here at Syncro. Go ahead.
Hey everybody, I'm Tatyana. Welcome.
Yes, welcome. And for those of you that join us normally, you'll see Brandi is not here today. She's getting a nice day off today, which is lovely. Everyone needs those once in a while. But yes, so for those of you that have joined us before, thank you so much. Welcome back. Those of you that this is your first time in Open Office Hours, welcome. We love doing these. They're kind of the highlight of the week for us. And it's really a place to ask whatever questions that have came up throughout the week. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter if you're in a trial and have some very initial questions or never even seen the software or possibly paying already and just maybe you have a new technician coming on board or maybe something brand new to your business model. So any questions, fair game. Again, obviously it's just the two of us today and sometimes we get some rapid fire questions coming in, so we're going to do our very best here. So we use the Q&A. So if you see us like looking somewhere, that's what we're looking at. And we'll just kind of try to do our best getting through these questions. And I see a few rolling in already. And yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And so let's see here. I see some questions already popping in. Go ahead, Tatyana, if you're ready.
Yeah, I have one from Adam here. He says, is there a ticket we can open for support that we can track the status on? I sent email to help@syncromsp.com, but not sure how to track progress. For sure, if you're emailing help@syncromsp.com, you should get a kind of a response like, hey, we have received your ticket, something like that. If you have not gotten one of those automated auto-generated ones, something might have not gone through. You can always CC us as your account rep to make sure your tickets are going through. We don't have an SLA, but our team is kind of ramping up and getting more and more quick at responding. So it shouldn't be like days and days that you don't hear from them. So if you need us to follow up on a ticket with you, email your account rep. It's either myself, Tatyana at syncromsp.com, or Brandi at syncromsp.com. I'll drop those into the chat box for you and we can update you guys on those statuses.
Awesome. Thank you. I was going to grab this one of them from Carlos regarding vendors. He's asking any way to have vendors registered to have incoming emails from them assigned to them, mostly for accounting purposes. Not really. I mean, you can add vendors into the system and you can attach vendors to products and services and that sort of thing. But they're not necessarily, it's not really a way to automate or assign anything to them unless they were actual users. Like if you add them as a user or have, where they have a login. I'm wondering if there's anything you could do based upon a ticket automation where you could have it email them and like let them know something. You could do that. You could CC any vendor on a ticket. So there's a couple workarounds there, but not necessarily assigning or anything like that. Hopefully that helps. And then I just want to know, I think we might need to get a little bit more clarification, Carlos, on your first question, the auto approve assets. So just bear with us on that one.
Awesome. I'll grab a couple here. Another one is from Carlos. Timers on tickets. How can we edit them? Can only seem to clone. When using the timer, it seems it only specifies the start time, no end time. Would be nice to be able to edit. Seems odd to have to clear or remove after completing notes, etc. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you guys what he's talking about. If we head over to any ticket within Syncro, there's multiple different ways to track time. There's 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. And in here, the question is how to edit time on the labor log. So yes, at this time, no matter how you've tracked the time, whether you've pushed the play button, done the work, push the stop button, whether you're in the communication section, you're choosing what kind of notes that you'd like to leave, you've entered the notes, said what kind of work that you've done, how long, whether you've billed for that time. and kind of submitted the private note here. Again, no matter how you choose to track the time in here, you should be able to edit them. If it's charging time by default, if it says charged true, you wouldn't be able to edit this time just by clicking into one of these. But if you say clear charge, you could edit the time in here. So it'll say the date, the time in here, and then you should be able to type in how long it was. This is the start time, here it is there. So hopefully right now, as far as I know, that's the only way that you can add time. I was actually in a demo a couple days ago and somebody asked how to backdate time. And you can do that if you're using the ticket timer log in here. So if you say like November 5th, and then you edit the time in here and you leave your notes, you could do it that way. So I don't know if that would be helpful to you at all. But again, if it's charging the time, you do have to clear the charge first in order to make any edits. I'll definitely pass that along for you. And then I'll grab another one here. Can you explain the device system tray menu and the options? Yes, this is one of my favorite things to show you guys. I'll go ahead and launch into a remote session straight from a ticket. And I'll show you what this looks like both from the customer's perspective and how to design that menu as well. So if we are on a Syncro live session, this is what it would look like from your customer's perspective. The system tray icon is brandable. You can put your own logo in there, of course. This menu that the customer is choosing from is the one that you design within the policy. So if we go over to our policies within Syncro, under more policies, and you have the option to customize this on any ticket, I'm going to go ahead and click into the base package. That's just the one that I use. And again, this base package is applying to these assets. So all of these assets would be the one to see that system tray icon menu. So this is where you're actually building the menu. You can send them to a website of your choice. You can make it a little bit more organized by including a divider, send them to an agent contact form, their customer portal, have them send you an email, display some text, execute a command, or you can initiate a chat session. So two of my favorites from here, the system tray icon using the agent contact form. I like this because it shows your customer the logo front and center. They can include a screenshot. When they send the request, that's going to filter into your own ticketing system straight within Syncro. Also, chat is available in here. And again, you can customize this entire menu on a policy per policy basis. So hopefully that is helpful to you. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to grab a few of these. One, I was just going to say, I saw that asking if this session is recorded. Yes. So we record all of these and we post them on our YouTube channel, and all of our previous ones are recorded and posted there too. All right, let me grab a few of these. So Damien wants to know, can tickets be created with SMS plus Twilio? So yes, that Twilio integration is pretty awesome. And I know, like, because there's also, I think, is FlowRoute what we use organically? I think FlowRoute is what we use organically, and then Twilio has like an advanced integration, and there is a ton of things you can do with that. So I know that there's like a portion of that our technical support team will like help troubleshoot and support, and then there's like an advanced version of that it's like there's a ton more things you can do, but you're kind of like at the mercy of it. It's powerful and kind of have to like work through those things. And then John says, I manage certain sensitive computers endpoints myself and need to limit access from other technicians. How does Syncro handle this? So right now in our security groups, it's more of like technician A can edit, run a script, it's more of like you turn it on or off per technician, not necessarily per like endpoint or per policy. So unless Tatyana has anything additional on that, I think that we're going to continue to add different security group options because we do get this requested quite often. And so kind of be on the lookout for that, and we'll pass this one along. And then I was going to grab this one from Manuel. Is there any way to change a ticket creation date? So yes, and you'll have to bear with me. It's so funny. I am in the process of moving, And I only have one screen today, which I am sure all of you know. Like all of a sudden I'm like completely lost. So bear with me and hopefully I'm not sharing the wrong screen. So let me just show you this ticket. If you like, I think where the question is, you can see created date here and it's not like clickable or editable. But if you actually just go up to edit the ticket here and click edit, then you can change the created date. And like Tatyana mentioned too, you can backdate ticket timer logs as well. So if it's on the wrong date, you can edit those. So you're able to do that. Let's see here. Stop sharing. I think, was that the last one I had grabbed? I think so for now. I'll pass it over to Tatyana.
Awesome. Sounds great. I'm going to start here right at the top. Question from Brianna. She says, hi, this might be more of a feature request, but is there any way to get a notification email or something when a ticket is either merged or deleted? Or even if the ticket is merged, maybe a note that number 1235 was merged into 1234. I don't think there is a notification of that, but I was assuming that if you did merge them together, that it would say like which ticket it was merged from. So let's see if I go to this 1180, that is going to be the final destination. I would assume that it would be in the private notes. So I'm just going to double check this while we're going live, but it looks like it just, yeah, pulls them in together. I will definitely pass it along for you because I can see how that would be useful, because yeah, I'm not seeing any notes on kind of where that's coming from or others. They just kind of compiles all the information together. So for sure, I will pass that along, or if any of you guys know of other notes, please let us know. Happy to share that with everyone else. So awesome. Next question here, or a comment from Carlos. He says, timers thinks I was unaware the fields were clicked to edit. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes people miss those. If you clear the charge, that's how you can actually make any changes that you need. Let's see. Next question from David. Can you help me understand the difference between creating a site and location within a customer versus creating a location as its own customer? What is the advantage over creating another location? For example, I support a customer with multiple locations who need their own portal users and invoicing, but have the same owner. Should I add each as another location or create them as a customer themselves? For that specific situation, I would create them as a customer themselves. So the rule of thumb here is if you are billing each location separately, and each location needs access to only their own endpoints, not endpoints across the entire company, I would just build them as their own customer. Because again, if you have them, I mean, if you did on a customer level, if you did create additional sites and addresses, you can assign. So here I have two or three different locations as an additional site and address. You can assign, for example, contacts to that address. You can assign assets within the assets and RMM section on a location per location basis. But this would mean the reason that you would use that is if, again, all of these assets for that specific customer are being billed to this main company. Whoever the manager is at this main company has access to all of those assets. Since they're under this customer's profile, they'll see all of that information within their own customer portal. So if you need that information separate, I would build them as their own customer. Let's see. Next question. Justin says, I see Syncro release notes exist here. Where can I see timeline for new features and plans? So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. We don't have a public facing roadmap. Our devs are incredible. They ship at a very aggressively fast rate, and it is kind of up in the air, honestly. Things get moved around. If something's not ready to ship, if it's doesn't pass the test, or if it's not ready to go, it gets pushed back a little bit. If something is ready to go, they'll push the timeline forward a little bit more. So there isn't a specific timeline or roadmap that we are able to share with you, because honestly, it's kind of on a day-to-day basis, it switches. So it wouldn't be fair to you guys to share something that's just changing on a daily basis. Question from Damien, phone integration and webhooks. I'm not sure what that that question is specifically referring to, but I'll show you two things that are related to that. One will be, we do have in our App Center, we do have a integration with free PBX. And so if you look for it, I always look for the little frog, but basically what it'll do is if you set this integration up, when your customer calls in, it will pop up a notification window showing you which customer it was, and the customer's ticket will also get a log entry saying that they called in at what time. So we do have a phone integration there. And then for webhooks, I know that you can enter webhook information into the notification center within Syncro. So you can set notification groups on a tech per tech basis. And then here within any notification, you set what the webhook URL is right in here. And then you can choose to be alerted via that webhook in this section there. So hopefully that helps, and I will let you take over from here, Crystal.
Awesome. That was great. I think the only other thing I would mention just with the webhooks, because I think that could mean a lot of different things. We do have an integration with Zapier as well as an open API that is awesome. So there's that too. So not knowing exactly what you're wanting to do, just wanting to mention that. Carlos has a follow-up regarding vendors. We send and receive invoices to and from customers/vendors to accounting at. If a customer responds to an invoice, we'll be setting up a response. If a vendor sends, I don't want to respond. And I don't want to have to create vendors as customers to color up the list unless there's a hidden customer type somewhere. So there's not necessarily like a hidden customer type. What I was going to just share here, there's a few things that I just want to make sure you've seen. So if you go to customers, there is the ability to create saved customer searches, and you could have a custom field and you could select like a customer type where whether it was a managed service customer or a vendor, like you could technically do that. The other thing that I think would be worth showing is that if you go to an actual customer, and again, I don't know if this is solving anything for your specific use case, but it's worth just showing that when you head over and you see you've got your overview and your customer information, I believe there's a couple things here. If you go over to maybe it's edit. Is that where I'm looking? Yes. Okay. If you go to edit, you can do like additional invoice CC email addresses where if you have a certain customer that you're always CCing a vendor or something like that. Again, I don't know if that's helpful, but just worth showing that it's there. And you, like I mentioned, you can use those custom fields and create, different customer. We have like an idea here, like a different customer type. All right, let me get back to where I was at in the Q&A. Let's see. Scott, I'm finding out about the mobile app question that you had, just wanted to let you know. And then there was a question, the Bitdefender trial, is there a limit on endpoints for the trial period? Not that I know of. What I do know is that it's a 30-day free trial. And so it coincides really nice if you're trialing Syncro, but you also can do that as a payer. And then you essentially just upgrade via the app card when you're ready to go live with it. The follow-up question to that is that I think, and I don't know for sure, I should know this, I think it's only the main antivirus. I don't know if we're offering the add-ons in the trial period. I will have to find out for you because I'm not positive. Okay, there's a couple others. Scott wants to know, is that ticket creation date what drives the reoccurring time as well? So let's just look at a ticket really quick, because when you're setting up a reoccurring ticket, and Tatyana, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know we have a huge update to reoccurring tickets. That hasn't happened yet, right?
Not yet, but it's coming soon. Super exciting.
Yeah, so I'm actually like hesitant to like go through this in any detail, but just want to, so if you go to actions and you go to like make reoccurring, you're setting the frequency and you can set the run next date and that kind of thing here. And so I believe that it will, like when the reoccurring, like if you have it monthly, it's probably going to go off of the creation time. So I do think that yes, it's going to go off of that, and there might be some updates to that because I think we have a huge I know that we have a huge amount of really cool stuff coming out regarding recurring tickets. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know if I grabbed any other. I don't think so. Did I? No. Okay, go ahead.
Sounds good. Question from Brad. What does the Bitdefender integration show in Syncro? For example, will it tell us if there was a virus detected or another event? Does Syncro just install the associated Bitdefender with the Syncro device, and then we must do everything in the Gravity Zone portal after that? You're right. Yep, it's the latter. So there's two alerts that will filter into Syncro, and I'll show you because you can run automated remediations off of those two. I'm hoping we're able to expand on these down the road, but for now, these are the two alerts that will show. So in your alerting section, if you have Bitdefender enabled, any alerts that where the alert body contains deleted malware or blocked malware, those will show on the Syncro side. And so if you wanted to, you could create an automated remediation. You can say if the conditions are trigger category is Bitdefender AV and it contains either of these alert bodies, I want to either, and again, from here, you can either say convert into a ticket to let the customer know, or just a private comment saying this was ran by an automated remediation. That's kind of the basics there. But yes, beyond that, deployment of Bitdefender is really easy right off of any policy. You just scroll down about halfway and you're able to enable Bitdefender. Just straight through here, you choose which modules you want available, and then the device will pop up in the Gravity Zone portal. You actually adjust and you know, pull all the levers and everything that you need to over there on the Bitdefender side. Let's see, next question from David. Will there be an option for us to use our own domain for Syncro or have the ability to host Syncro ourselves? I do think this is a very, very popular request to have those custom domains. We'll definitely pass that along again for you. Question from Adam. Actually, Adam, I'm double checking on this one from our support team. I'm not 100% sure how to address that one. So I just want to make sure, I'm not ignoring your question, just getting some clarity from our team, and I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from them. And then another question here from Brianna. When creating a customer, is there an option that says no email of any kind? Can you explain this further? I'm thinking I might want to use this for one of our customers. But I just want to make sure that they will still get ticket emails if they put in their own ticket. I believe so, yes. Please do check this on your own, but I'll show you guys what setting she is referring to here. If we go over to any customer's profile, and you can do this as you're setting the customer up or once they are already in the system. If you click edit, you'll see here that you have the option here to say no email of any kind. What this means is that they will not get any emails ever at any time of any sort in any circumstance. So basically, I usually say this: if you're new to Syncro or you're in a trial and you maybe imported all of your customers and you just want to make sure that they're not getting any types of emails as you're testing, tickets or invoices or anything like that, it just will not send anything from the system, from the Syncro system, no alerts, notifications, no nothing to the customer. And so for your side, please do double check. I'm assuming this is correct, but if they email you, I believe you can still filter in those emails because it's not coming from your side. But again, from their side, they just won't receive any from yours. Let's see. And then I think I had one more here. Oh, I have an update for Carlos's question. His question was, auto-approve assets from known IPs. Does this only auto-approve based on the company ID that was pushed out, or does this assign to the company based on the matching WAN IP? Our tech support lead says expected performance is that we match to the WAN IP. If the WAN IP is known and an agent has that IP address, any assets created within the same IP will be automatically approved. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that link to the knowledge base article that he linked for me, and I'll make sure that I can drop that into the chat box for you in just a minute. And then Adam, update on yours as well. His question was regarding the sites and locations. If you do this where a single location, for example, parent location handles all billing, but each child location is different in sales tax jurisdictions, will Syncro properly handle that during the invoicing for sales tax? So at this time, only one tax rate can be set to the customer top level settings at this time. You need to break out each location separately as a separate customer to handle the unique tax rates at this time. Sorry about that. So I'll make sure we pass that along to the team as well. So I'll go ahead and drop Carlos that link for you, and that's it for me.
Awesome. I'm going to grab a few from the top. Scott, just an update. Just talked to technical support, and that does seem like a bug, and so I'm going to report this after. So I'll probably CC you on an email, so you'll see that come through. Just a heads up. And I clicked like, yeah, I'm going to answer this question because I thought I knew what you were talking about, and then I went there and I don't actually know. So we're going to do this live because that's what we do. But the question is, and if anyone in here knows, and probably Tatyana knows anyways, but under admin invoices templates, there is an invoice ticket template. How does one get that to run, and can it be on a monthly basis? So it's really funny because I just went to invoice templates, and I honestly don't have an answer. So I went to invoice template here. And from here, there is an invoice ticket template. Tatyana, do you know?
I actually don't. I didn't realize there was one of those in there. So we will have to double check.
You apparently enable it and disable it in the settings page where I've never actually gone into this template before. So I kind of preemptively hit the button of answer live. This is how open office hours goes sometimes, because I don't have the answer, but we'll try to find it for you. Okay. The other one is I've installed the Syncro app on my iPhone, but I can't see where the chat option can be launched. I go to the asset and can't start a chat session. So we just launched chat to mobile. So my guess is I don't know if there's like a version issue, but I think this is something that you would probably just shoot a message to help@syncromsp.com, since it is brand new to the mobile app. Maybe it's a known bug or something like that. So definitely reach out and let them know, especially since it's just a freshly launched feature. Jeremy wants to know, are there any plans for a Linux agent soon, say within the next few months, if all goes well? So what I will say is we're not actively working on a Linux agent right now. We are actively working on the Mac agent. So I know that is where a lot of our dev effort is right now. So I would not be able to confidently say in a few months, just to be super transparent. And now I think I'll come back to that, the invoice ticket template, but I'll hand it over to Tatyana now.
Awesome. Thank you. Question from Matt. He says, when somebody creates a ticket in the customer portal, they enter their name and email. Is there a way to automatically enter the person as a contact and have that person entered as the assigned contact? That sounds like it would be super awesome if it worked that way. I'll pass that along for you. What you do have the ability to do, if you go to the admin section, if they email you a ticket, if you go over to your email rules within Syncro in the admin section, you have the ability here to specify a domain, and you can say, if somebody emails me from this domain, I want to auto create the contact under the above customer. So if they don't exist yet, it will match it to the customer and it will put them in as a contact. It won't necessarily assign them to any type of asset. You would have to do that manually. So that would be the closest that you could get at this time. The interesting thing is, though, once you do have them assigned as a contact to an asset, so I have actually Crystal here is assigned as the contact to our demo test machine, but it's interesting. I'll really quickly launch into a Syncro live session. I'll show you if this person, if Crystal, who is assigned to this specific asset, creates a ticket from the system trait icon using the agent contact form, it will pre-fill her information in here. So that's something else to consider if you wanted to kind of do things that way. So hopefully that is helpful to you there. And then let's see, next question is from Carlos. Antivirus. We have a couple of machines that are showing up with no antivirus, even though it's there active and running. We have the same AV silence on others, and there doesn't seem to be anything in particular on those. How often are these and other properties, software, event logs, services and etc. rescanned. Is there a way to force a rescan or refresh of data? Thanks for all the other answers too. You're welcome. This is super fun for us, and we're grateful you guys join us because we get to keep doing them for you. So really good question. If we actually go to a customer's profile here, or I'm sorry, a asset profile here, you'll see that even if you don't purchase antivirus through Syncro, mine is through MCSoft, but if it was like Windows Defender or anything else, it would show that that is what's installed. You wouldn't have any alerts filtering in since it's not managed through Syncro, but at least it would show. So if it's not showing in this section here, please do reach out to our support team. They should be able to either troubleshoot for that or kind of give an explanation of why it's not showing, because as far as I have seen it here before is what I'm saying. And then for your kind of second half of the question, is there a way to force or rescan or refresh of the data? If you guys haven't known this yet, anytime you go into any policy, if you make any changes in here, it does force a sync to all of these assets. So even if you don't make any changes in here, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you click Save Changes, it says this will update 13 assets on this policy. Are you sure? Yes. And then again, it will force a sync to the agent. It should be pushing those updates. Again, I don't know how quickly those updates will be reflected, but that does force a sync with the endpoint there. And then let's see. Last question I'll grab here is from David. And I'm actually getting some clarification from our team on that one, and I don't have a response yet. It's a Huntress question. So as soon as I hear back from them, I will let you know what they said.
Awesome, thanks. And yeah, I'm determined to come back to this invoice ticket template
I'm
too.
excited. It's like something that's existed that we haven't seen before, and it's not even something new.
Is, you know, when you've been here almost 4 years and you're still learning awesome new things, it's like, yeah, this is great. Never a dull moment, that's for sure. What I was gonna grab was, Michael, it says, looking at the Syncro system tray icon, what menu options are you picking to get that support request screen? Okay, so let me share my screen because I think Tatyana went through this, but so if you go to, I'm just going to go to ending policy here. And when it gets there, so if I go to this base package here, it depends on how you want them to request service, and you can actually customize what the menu title says. So my guess is you're looking at agent contact forms. It's the pop-up modal where they can request service, and you can actually call that whatever you want. But the menu type being an agent contact form, you can customize those here. So you'll see like this little contact forms, you can get here a couple different ways. So one way is to just click here. The other way is when you're looking at policies just from the beginning screen, these policy modules, you'll have agent contact forms where you can customize those. And so we've got 3 created. And so you can create new contact forms from here and choose what you want required and that sort of thing. But from the actual system tray on the policy is where you can determine what you actually want to call any of the menu options. So hopefully that's answered your question, because the only other way like that a customer would be able to, I guess, request service is you could call their customer portal, request service, and it would and then they would have to log into their portal and they could create a ticket from there. But I'm assuming you're talking about the agent contact form. There's a couple ways to get to it to be able to customize that. Let's see here. Was there any? Yes, you did. Yeah, stumped me. But yeah, go. Did you have a couple, Tatyana, that you were gonna grab?
This is an interesting question. I'm actually not sure how this will work, but I'm going to share my screen because I'm a little bit confused, but maybe we can take a look at this together. So question from Adam, can we assign all bills to be paid by another customer? So this is interesting. I think this is in regards to kind of how customers are created on the Syncro side. So I'll share a couple things and then I'll show you what I was testing that I'm not super clear on. If we go over to the customer's profile, if you have like, let's say you have a main company and then location A, B, and C. If you wanted to, for each location A, B, and C, you could list the same contact in here to, like, whoever the owner is of location A, B, and C, maybe they're the ones that want to get all the invoices, they want access to all the customer portals. You could list them each, you could list that same owner 3 separate times as a contact in here. And so you could say, I want to also enable them as a portal user. And right here, you can say receive billing emails. So that would be one way around it. Again, they would have to use different login credentials for each quote unquote company, or location A, B, and C, but that way they would have access to the customer portals and they would get the billing emails right in here. That would be the first thing that I'd recommend if you're trying to kind of sort out the billing, but have separate customers. And then, but his direct question was, can we assign all bills to be paid by another customer? I'm actually not sure on this one. What I did is over to the invoices section, and maybe this is just not the proper way to approach this, but like I went to this customer's invoice, 3170 was the total here, and you can change the customer here, but I think it just kind of pulls in that customer's information in here. So I'm not 100% sure if there is a roundabout way for that, because it just creates that in here. Maybe it overrides the contract or something like that. So you can change the customer. I'm just not 100% sure. It looks like it does list them as a ticket customer, but you're billing someone else here. So I'll just kind of play around with that setting to update that. Let's see, and it looks like I got an update from one of the answers, or actually, Crystal, that one was for yours. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take that one.
Oh yes, the ticket one, the template, invoice template. So let me just make sure. Yep. Okay. So if you go, let me share my screen. This is cool. I'm going to get to that in just a second. And I need to move my Zoom tools because again, I have one screen and it's driving me nuts. So, okay, if you go back to admin, let's head back to those ticket templates. So you can either enable or disable this if you like it or if you don't. So on this invoice template, you'll see where I was just at previously, where you can update an invoice ticket template. So what this is going to do, if you have this enabled in your settings where it says like the invoice settings page, if you have invoice ticket templates enabled, these are going to attach to all invoices that run, like all of your invoices that run on this specific template will include this ticket template so that you can customize what it looks like. So again, if you were like adding any pending ticket charges or something like that to an invoice, this could get very long because it's going to add all of your ticket information. And so yes, to answer the second part of your question, this could be absolutely reoccurring if this is the template that you're using on a reoccurring invoice basis. So it's just attached to the invoice, or you choose to have it not attached to the invoice. So hopefully that helps, and thanks. We're learning. It's always fun to learn something new. David wants to know, is there any work being done to give us the ability to remove software from the asset screen? So I know that this is a huge request, and I actually think that Tatyana might have a better answer as to like where our thought process is on that. That's the one, right, Tatyana? The one where people want to remove asset or remove installed applications straight from like the asset detail screen. Don't you have a explanation for like why hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, honestly, it's because there isn't a way to guarantee a 100% success rate, and our devs aren't going to ship something that doesn't work. So as far as I've known, even if people are coming over from other solutions and they specifically ask for this feature, unfortunately, there isn't a way to guarantee a 100% success rate. So it's hard for us to be like, all right, here's this functionality. It might work 30% of the time. Is just not going to happen. I will post for you guys, one of our users, Jeremy, actually created a video on how to uninstall pretty easily using Chocolatey. And so I will go ahead and drop that into the chat box for you when I have a chance to.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking, and that kind of goes along with, I was going to grab this one from Matthew, just wanting to see some more technical deep dive videos on topics like ticket automation, script creation, and reading and writing custom fields and that kind of thing. I will say, I agree with you. I would I would love these deep dive videos for absolutely everything. I will say, you know, we are continuing to expand what we do have on the YouTube channel. Like I always, it's a little bit older, but like this, there's like this scripting training. Am I on the right? I can't remember where it is. But anyways, I mean, as you can see, we have a ton of YouTube videos, but there's an actual script training, yeah, customer training scripting module. This is a really great video. So if you've seen a lot of our videos, Andy did this one and he does address reading and writing to custom fields. So I would check this one out. But I definitely hear you on some more content and videos. And I will definitely pass that along. Um, and then the last one I will grab, it says, is there a way to have the device system tray menu work like the patch management and policies? Now, when we want to make a change, we have to go to multiple policies and change it everywhere. Would be nice to change it at one time. I got it. Okay, so you're saying like almost like we have in our policies, because you can do that. Like it's kind of cool, at least with the agent contact forms. If you wanted to make a change to that, you could change it on the master contact form and it would go to any policy that had that in the system tray icon. But you're saying almost system tray icon templates, which is cool. And I like that idea. So I will definitely pass that along. Okay, I think that's it for me.
Awesome. I actually have a super fun question in here from Justin. His question is, what are the top 5 most popular Syncro app integrations? So I'm excited to, I want to answer, and then Crystal, I want you to answer what you think yours are the most popular one. Because I think it's interesting for each MSP. Like sometimes we have you guys coming over and you're like, we're coming from Pax8. We love Pax8. We hear you guys have a Pax8 integration. And so it's like, that's the must have app. And so it's interesting of kind of the different flavors of the different apps that are, you know, that you consider a must have in your business. So I'll come back to that one real quick. I just wanted to give a little bit of updates on some of those that we were waiting for our support team to get back on. I have one update here for Carlos about the antivirus question, not showing silence as being installed on the endpoint. Lindsay from our technical support team says this sounds like they might be servers were not accurately pulling the installed antivirus for. Can you please send URLs and some example assets in this state to support? So this is actually a really good example. If you guys are experiencing something that is not expected on the Syncro side, when you email support, as much information as you can give them right off the bat, it'll eliminate like most of the back and forth of like, well, what time did this happen? Well, which asset did this happen to? Can you send a link to the asset? So like he's saying, if you can send a URL of some example assets in this state to support, just as much information as you can include in that initial email to them, they'll be able to help you with that. So hopefully that helps Carlos. And then, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and I'll share, I think the ones that I hear are the top most used apps in the App Center. So I think number one would probably be Pax8. If you guys haven't used them previously, we do recommend checking them out. They are a cloud distributor. So if you need any licenses for Office 365 or anything else, our integration with them is pretty awesome. It's built into Syncro, just into an iframe. So you can literally make any adjustments for Pax8 straight through Syncro. So I'd say that would be the first one. Actually, I don't know, antivirus wise, between the three with Bitdefender, Weber, and MCSoft, I think Bitdefender is the most popular. So I would say that one is number 2. Out of the 3 remote access tools we integrate with, I think Screen Connect is the most popular. So I'd say that one's 3. And then I'll let you do the other 2 if you agree or disagree, Crystal.
No, those are definitely my top 3. A couple things that it's interesting because it's not necessarily an integration, but it's not brand new, a couple months old, and it's in the App Center that, you know, not only are we HIPAA compliant, but we do have a direct link with the compliancy group. And so if you
Very cool.
are considering getting into, anything in the medical field, which I know a lot of MSPs are, if you're not already HIPAA compliant, if you just head to our app center, we have a direct link to the compliancy group, and you can start that process to become HIPAA compliant yourself. And then of course, Syncro is HIPAA compliant and we'll sign a BAA. So that's very popular, because I know it's interesting. Like, I think that a lot of MSPs, it's, I find that there's either MSPs that are in one vertical only, or MSPs that are everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
whether you're in a smaller town and you're just every business, you're the go-to. Sometimes if you're not HIPAA compliant, it can limit who you can help with. You like this jacket? I know, it's awesome. Thank you. Cold here. Tatyana and I are both in Spokane, Washington, and it is like very cold and rainy today.
Yeah.
I think I just said 4. So 5th. Let me think.
There's so many. They're like all really useful.
Yeah, and I think what's great, so it was brought up already. Huntress is just awesome. I think Huntress is phenomenal. So I think that's a really cool integration. And I have this fun. Just since I don't even know if we have time. I know there's questions in there, but I went to a conference and actually got to meet the founder of Huntress, and just probably one of the smartest people I've ever been like face to face with. So there's like just a thing with that Huntress integration that I just think is awesome. So yeah.
Maybe we should do like not a deep dive, but like a 5-minute intro to Syncro apps one of these days. Let us know if that would be helpful to you guys, because we skipped like most of them, even though a lot of them are super useful. Like our importers are amazing. If you're moving over from almost any RMM, we make it really easy and painless to move across. Accounting integrations, really awesome. So yeah, let us know if you guys want a kind of like an intro to the App Center. I love these comments. Some Spokane love.
Yes, Spokane is awesome. If you know Spokane really well, now I'm going to go, because I told you I'm in the process of moving. Like, just got a spot on the Little Spokane River, which I'm just super excited about.
It literally probably looks like this, you guys. She just bought a house that looks like it's on a river. Like, I can't wait to come over once it's safe.
Once I've actually moved, I'll just take my computer out and just show you the view.
Yes.
And meander around. But we should probably work now because I'm looking and there's questions in here. I was gonna grab, so Manuel, sometimes when we add a new agent, the sync stalls, which I understand every once in a while that happens. I know that there's a couple ways that you can force a sync. You could just, you can like restart the Syncro service on that machine and that'll get things going. You can even just edit something on the policy. You could literally just like go into a policy and resave it and it'll trigger a new sync. So when you have to do that's one way to do it, or 2 ways to do it actually. And then I think this is more of just a request for the chocolatey in the policy. Can we specify parameters when adding an app? Not only just install or install an update. You'd like it to only update if found, otherwise leave it alone. So I think that would be more of a request and add on to that part of our policies that we have. David wants to know, is there a way to capture remote session duration for an asset from Syncro Live or another remote control tool like TeamViewer? Yeah, so if you don't, and the use case sometimes for urgent calls, we connect without creating the ticket first, and it would be nice to see all those past remote sessions. And so let me just share my screen because this is definitely something that is requested often. When you go into really any asset, I'll go into an asset that we utilize often. When you go into this asset here, you'll see you can definitely tell when screen sharing has started. It's not going to tell you how long that screen share was. I don't know if any of our TeamViewer Splashtop integrations, I'm not positive if they keep that as a record if you log in there. I'm not positive. But at least you can see it here. And I know that even the integrations track here. Let's see here. Did I have any other ones? Oh, thanks, Jeremy. I'm very excited. I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, clarification for Matthew. He says in admin email roles, new email role, do you put that domain name in the email address to add the contact to the customer automatically? Is that where you put it? Yes. Yep, that's exactly it. So, and this is great too. I appreciate you following up. So if there's something that we're explaining that isn't like clear enough, or you want us to show you guys again, don't hesitate to send another Q&A. We're happy to show you guys. So yeah, in more admin, exactly like he said, email roles when you're creating a new email role, but this is where you would put that in. Oops, if you click the edit button right in here, that's where you would put that. And then follow up from Justin. He says, original question asker here. Yes, I would very much appreciate it as someone who is new to Syncro, like deep dive in the App Center. So let us know, guys, if there's specific topics. I love all the ones that you guys sent over, and I've passed them along to the team of like deep dive videos, like you said, on real world setup or different use of features or the App Center, or I mean, we do, if I'll share my screen, it looks like there's only 2 questions left in the Q&A, so keep them coming if you're thinking of anything. But over in our YouTube channel, I think we almost should make this into a separate playlist, but we have been, it's been actually a couple weeks, I think. We've been slacking a little bit. I mean, not really, because we've covered so many deep dive topics, but we were doing this almost on a weekly basis, or at least every couple of weeks. So like 3 weeks ago, we did a deep dive on how to use block hours within Syncro, how to use custom fields within Syncro, branding within Syncro, Bitdefender trials through Syncro, how to use ticket worksheets. So again, it kind of goes on, but you'll notice that in the actual app, like the front photo, I guess, of it is going to show deep dive billing models, whatever it might be. So maybe we can put that into a separate playlist here to include like a deep dives playlist. And it's usually the first 5 to 10 minutes of those videos. I have a list for you guys, so I'll drop that into the chat box if you guys want to see the ones that we have. And if you have other specific ones, please let us know. We're happy to create more of those for you. I think that's all I have.
Awesome. I was just gonna grab David. Sorry, I think I clicked that I answered you, but I didn't. The ability to apply multiple policies to assets. All I will say to that is currently, no, that's not an option. But I'm saying currently, and I'm just gonna say currently, and hopefully that's enough of a be on the lookout type of statement. Let's see here. And then this is great because David's saying Huntress is awesome and they will do a deep dive if you do a trial with them, which a lot of our integrations do. We've noticed that like our partners over at Bitdefender, they're great. If you do a Bitdefender trial, you can do a Gravity Zone tour with them and they're awesome. And I think that I think this is just great. And then also it's like, I see all of these great features, but I feel like we are using 10% of the product. Well, like I said, we've been here a long time and I learned something new today. So you'll get there. And I think the more that you talk to the community too, like, hey, we have this thing that is super manual and it takes a long time, what are you guys doing for that? You'll be able to find that there are just so many ways that you can use Syncro to, whether it's automating responses or just making sure you're getting notified on certain things that you want to be notified. There's a lot of hidden gems for sure in Syncro. And for those of you that are here and in an active trial that have not already had a demo or a product tour or even a 15-minute chat with either Tatyana or Brandi, please reach out and get that scheduled, because one thing that we like to just say, and I think these are Tatyana's words specifically, is that we will save you a ton of testing time. If you just have a few questions, instead of like, we know your time is precious. So instead of, struggling through and trying to find certain things, make a list of your questions and schedule. Brandi and Tatyana are both product experts for sure, and can at least give you the yes, no type of answers. Here's where to find it, and you could be on your way. So I definitely would recommend that. And it's just, our emails are just our first names at syncromsp.com. So I would definitely recommend reaching out.
Jeremy says, is that a spoiler? It may or may not be a spoiler. How's that? Just kidding, you guys. We're not trying to mess with you. We actually just don't. Again, it's a timing thing. We don't know when something may or may not be available or when it's going to be perfectly ready to ship. So, like Crystal said, it's not here yet. That's all we can really say.
Yeah, that's it. We hear some, the little buzzes going around, and we like to spread that, spread the excitement, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So geez Louise. Wait, it's whose birthday week?
Brandi's. Her birthday. Yeah.
I was thinking like last week. Well, I guess you can still consider it this week, right?
Yeah, that would be like day one over through now on Halloween. Yeah, Brandi never takes time off. She's here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this is pretty rare. I feel like this is the only. Oh yeah. Manuel, just when you need Brandi to let us know about all the upcoming features, huh?
For this recording, she was like, she even messaged both of us this morning. She was like, I am so sad. She's like on a plane. I'm like, just go do your thing. Go have fun. All of us, we really enjoy doing these. It's very, very fun. Well, again, this has been recorded, and so if you missed anything or you want to review ones that we've done in the past, don't hesitate to hop over to the YouTube channel. Also, definitely join our Facebook group. Our community is awesome. It's just filled with all of lovely folks like you, and very helpful. So I would recommend doing that as well. But otherwise, our Q&A is empty, and I think we can call it a day.
Sounds good. Yeah, we dropped a ton of resources for you guys into the chat box. They will disappear as soon as our session closes, so grab them if you need them now. And then if not, you can wait for the recording to be posted on the YouTube channel and you'll have access to it there.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. Happy Friday. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe and healthy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.